This is huge. I might cry. I probably won't cry.
Okay, now we're gonna mess up our beautiful ceiling.
We haven't done this tilting of the panels since we built this. Okay, wait. Can we hit a light switch? It didn't work. Unfortunately, it's worse than we thought it was, but at least we figured out the issue. This is the best.
We did it!
Day.
We have light!
Hello, welcome back to our channel. This week we are doing something that has been the scariest part of the bus build for me so far. We are setting up our battery bank and all of our electrical components. I've done a ton of research and I've watched a ton of videos, so I will link the videos that have helped me most when it comes to bus electrical work. But I will try to explain as much as I can, but take it all with a grain of salt because we are obviously not professionals, and we would love any advice from you guys. If you see something that looks maybe a little bit wrong, leave us a comment down below. We have been ordering supplies for this since we started our bus build, so over the past year we have been accumulating boxes of parts and pieces. So the first step is going to be unboxing everything and taking inventory of what we have and making sure we have everything. If you're like me, you might want to have a to-do list of the order of things you want to get done, as well as a diagram of what your whole system is going to look like. But maybe that's just me.
I'm about to drill a hole in the side of our bus for our shore power hookup. So this little outlet box will just go on the outside, and that'll let us plug in at campgrounds, or we have an adapter so we can just plug into a normal power outlet to charge our batteries. And so that just gives us one more option for power. So the first thing you put on is the back piece.
The back piece just helps like with stress relief, so the wire doesn't bend at like a 90-degree angle immediately after connecting.
So that'll be great for that. Now we're gonna stick our wires in their corresponding holes. They'll go in that, and then we'll pull that through so it's flush against the wall, and that will sit like that, and we'll have a nice clean connection.
We gotta screw those in.
First, tighten these in. This we messed in there. That will sit against there.
And then it'll screw in and we'll pop it open and charge up.
Zip zap zoop.
Now I am working on making these cables that are going to connect each of our batteries. So the first step is to cut a piece of cable to this length. I'm doing 5 1/4 inches. I want to make sure every single one of these is the same length. Next, I strip off the ends of the cable to expose the strands, as you can see a little bit here, and I crimp on one of these 5/16 cable lugs. I do that to both sides, and then I have some heat shrink tubing that I just make sure that I slide on before I put on the lugs, and then I'm going to heat shrink it around so it looks like this. So everything is nice and sealed and protected. And I have to make about 10 of these.
So we have everything connected here. We actually did screw down our inverter behind this just because it would be hard to get to after we did this, but our batteries are all connected. We took all of our beautiful pieces that Emily made here with their lugs and connected all of our positives in parallel and our negatives in parallel down here. These batteries are lithium. They have little like pouch cells, kind of like a cell phone battery, so we were okay to put them on their side and mount them anyway. Make sure you're checking with your manufacturer because like lead acid batteries and some other types will make a terrible mess and explode and kill you if you turn them on their side. So ours, we made sure were good. We mounted them on their side, and then we just built this framing around them so that they won't move around at all when the bus is moving. So they're completely firm in there. Front, back, side, and side, they're all connected. They're still not hooked up to any power, but that's on the way.
We're about to lift up our solar panels so that we can connect all the wires underneath them. We haven't done this tilting of the panels since we built this about like last summer, I think, so we might be a little rusty. Let's see how it goes.
What's going on? What's with the blanket fort?
Hello, welcome to my fort. We covered the solar panels with a tarp and some blankets just so that there isn't any sunlight and active voltage running through these cables. I don't know how necessary it is with these connectors, but we're just trying to be better safe than sorry. And now I'm connecting the solar panels using the wires that they come with. We are doing the circuit in a series parallel configuration, so we have 2 sets of 3 panels each. So these 3 panels will be connected in series, these 3 panels will be connected in series, and then those 2 sets are connected in parallel. And it's super easy. There's literally a minus and a plus, and you just push them together and they're connected. Our panels are all connected. I just did some quick cable management. So these are our 2 cables that will go through our entry gland and down to our charge controller.
Now, we're gonna mess up our beautiful ceiling. We have to drill a hole to the roof for our solar panel wires to come through and put our other gland over. I would recommend you do this before you install your ceiling. I think we actually did have all the components we needed. We just forgot.
We just got excited about our ceiling.
Got excited to put the ceiling in. Now we have to put a hole in it, and then we'll just run some sort of conduit down to run the wires along all the other ones. So
yeah, we'll try to hide it and make it look cute, but there's gonna be a little wire situation here.
Yeah, so we're putting about, we couldn't find our other PVC, so a 1-inch hole to put this 7/8 PVC or something through. And that, again, will just stop any of our wires from being scraped up by the metal they're running through. And the gland will just sit over top of that and shelter it so no water comes down and in.
Bye, ceiling.
Our solar box here, we're going to go ahead and mount on the back of it here, and then that will be able to run our wires for the charge controller from, and we'll just hold off attaching this wall yet until we're able to probably put everything into there. So next step almost complete. We interrupt our scheduled programming to bring you Bee Rescue.
Saving the bees. Oh! No! Get on my flower!
He's just sleepy.
Maybe I should get something sturdier than a flower petal.
Yeah, like your hand.
Well, I just don't want him to be upset. Come on, little guy.
Where are we going?
Where should we go? Over here. What's this? Lavender? Bees love the lavender plant. There you go.
Gotta be careful when you're not wearing your hard hat on the construction site.
I know, he was gonna get stepped on or eaten by a dog.
You would never eat him, would you, Zoe?
She's a little bee eater.
Good girl. So this cable is going to fill our batteries with juice, right? So that's going to attach the batteries down there, and power will come through this one, from this wire, through our master disconnect from the Lynx distributor. So a quick sequence is solar power to charge controller, then that'll come through here, and so the power will come through the distributor, down these cables, and into the batteries. So we are going to need the positive and the negative for that, but we need to include this fuse box in with that calculation, and we want everything to match up. So we're keeping that component separated right now so we can see that the length of our black negative cable will be the same as this entire sequence of positive cable.
Yeah, so the two cables coming to and from the batteries need to be the same length, just so that it's the most efficient. Right?
Right. Okay, so with the two we just showed you we were going to cut, we have our master disconnect connected to our battery. So this is the positive that goes up, and the fuse, so the power will come. Right now we have it switched off, but once we turn that on, the power will be able to run through there into our batteries. And then we have the negative lead coming out of our negative that kind of loops around and also goes into the distributor box. Hey Emily, what's going on?
Hello. So we're ready to connect our Lynx distributor to our charge controller, our inverter, and our distribution box. So the bottom, I guess I'm just gonna call it a bus bar, because that's what it is, of this is connected to the negative terminal. So our negative cables are going to connect to these bolts down here. So this black cable will run from there to the negative input of our charge controller.
And just for your reference, we took the front of this panel off. We took the top off of the inverter panel there so we can access the components, and we took the front of our charge controller panel off just so that everything's easier to access. So that's why it might look a little bit different right now.
Yep, and so the negative wires for each of those are going to go to the bottom half, and then these just push down, and the positive wires connect to these top bolts, which then get a fuse here to here that connect them to the positive part of our Lynx distributor. Next, we are installing our chassis ground. So this 4-aught cable runs back to the negative bus bar on our Lynx distributor, and this is going to ground all of our equipment to the metal of the bus so we don't get shocked when we touch metal on the bus, right?
That's the dream.
So we've got this big cable, and we're going to run it right up here. There's a rib underneath the sheet metal here, and we have sanded down the paint, so it's just bare metal against bare metal, and we're going to use a metal to metal self-drilling screw, right, with a washer, and just have this right against the metal.
Right. Ideally we would do it with a bolt, but this is something where we won't be able to access the back side of it, and we've never once been successful on this bus with threading with a screw and being able to put something into this metal without it breaking. So
yeah, the metal's just too strong.
We'll see how this goes, and if we start getting zapped, we'll know that we need to do better.
Yeah, if you have designed an electrical system like this and you see something totally wrong with this ground setup, let us know. But from our research, this seems okay, and we'll see if it works.
Right?
Yeah. Do you guys remember when I tried to cut our closet wall curve and got it totally wrong? I did a pretty terrible job mapping out the curve. Well, we got a curve tool and hopefully we've redeemed ourselves. Gavin just made the cut. We still had to do a little bit of guesstimating, but it should be a lot better. So we're doing a normal AC household outlet here, and then we're gonna do a 12-volt outlet just for like USB charging here. And the plan is to be able to charge things from our bed, but then they're also close enough to, you know, the edge of the wall that we can reach them from the living area as well. And then here's our bedroom switch for our light in our bedroom. Our final component has arrived. So this is our 400 amp ANL fuse. This is like our main system fuse that goes between our battery bank and our positive bus bar in the Lynx distributor. So this guy is definitely an important piece, and I'm gonna install it now and then see if we can turn on our lights. This is huge. I might cry. I probably won't cry, but I feel like this is the thing that I have worked the hardest on. I didn't understand. I had to do hours and hours of research. It's the most terrifying part of the build, in my opinion, and I am so excited for it to be done. So last piece going in now, and hopefully that's the end of that, fingers crossed. I'm reading off my checklist of things to do, and Gavin's gonna do it as I read it. So the first thing, well, we already did all the first things. The next thing is turn on master disconnect switch. That's our water pump, and our backup camera just came on. Oh my gosh!
It's happening!
There's power!
Does the pump have an off switch?
No.
Should I turn this off?
Yeah. Okay, I'm filming on my phone too, so we can get our reactions at the same time. All right, so turn on master disconnect switch.
Okay, round 2.
The backup camera's on. What is beeping? Our inverter.
That's the inverter powering on.
Nice. Things are lighting up. All right, check off that. Turn on the solar disconnect. Now we should be getting solar power to the charge controller.
Alright, the panel light just came on for that.
Turn inverter charger on. It's on, baby.
Yep, that turned on its own.
Okay, wait. Can we hit a light switch?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
You want to film a light? Is there a light in your field?
There's a light. I've got lights on mine.
You ready?
I'm terrified.
It didn't work.
It didn't work.
But we have a backup camera! Alright, maybe need some troubleshooting with that.
Okay, turn it off. Okay guys, sorry for the weird angle, but I think I figured out our problem. Unfortunately, it's worse than we thought it was, but at least we figured out the issue. So, our LED lights have a black wire and a white wire coming out of them. Our naive electrical selves just thought the black wire had to connect to the black wire, which meant the white wire would connect to the red wire. Made sense. I think now that I've Googled it, that's wrong. And the black wire on the light is actually the hot positive, and the white wire is our ground. And so if I connect it that way, then the light turns on. So I think our issue is that we wired every single one of the lights wrong in our ceiling, and we're gonna have to pull them out and switch the wires so that we have white going to our black wire and black going to our red wire. So if you're yelling at your screen right now, don't rewire all your lights. Don't worry, we aren't. Last night we talked to Gavin's dad about it and realized that we can just swap the positive and negative wires that come into our fuse box. So since we wired our black wire to the neutral wire of the light and our red wire, no, opposite way. So basically the 14 gauge wire we used to run back to our fuse box is the same wire. The color coding is just for us to make it easier. So if we just swap where our red and black wires are connected on the fuse box, it should solve our problem. So we're gonna try that first. Hopefully it works. All right, our fuses are rewired. We're gonna switch the power back on and see if our lights come on.
Hit it.
Hit it. All right, light test.
It worked.
Oh my god! This is the best.
We did it.
day.
We have light.
I'm so happy. Look at our lights. Ah!
Let's see if your hair blows in the wind. Give the people what they want.
Is it blowing?
Yeah, a lot. Wow. Stay still. Gotta zoom in on your one hair that's quivering. Look at it go!
It just put itself to bed.
Well, you pushed the go to sleep button.
Okay, let's wire the bedroom lights so we can turn them on and fix the garage switch, and then everything works. All right, after some rewiring, we are ready for hopefully one final test. Power back on. Gavin's got the garage light test.
I haven't threaded our switch back through, but
Yeah!
on and off, baby.
All right, final is the bedroom lights test.
Yay! Woo! All our lights work!
Yeah!
Troubleshooting success.
We are professional electricians, I think.
Someone pay me.
Wow. This is amazing. We're gonna do one final thing, which is plug our shore power cord into the house and see if we get power from that. So currently our inverter, you can see, just says 0 for input. So when we plug in our shore power cord, that number should change. $122 volts coming in hot.
Never gonna get old. Thanks for sticking with us if you're still here through our electrical journey. I know this was kind of a long one, but we had a lot to show you. And it was something that we were really intimidated by. It took a lot to work through, and it's been a project in the works since basically we started the bus. So thanks for checking it out.
Yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, drop us a comment down below and I will try to help you as much as I can. And we'll see you next week with a new video.
Love you.
Love you.
Good night.
Bye. Amazing.
Still cool.